Alright everyone, bike's all done, 24,000 mile service. I'm actually still inside San Diego BMW and I'm getting ready to go right out into the rain because my service just got done. So oil change, new battery, and all kinds of crap done with the bike. They're gonna roll it out for me here and then jump right into the rain, and this will be how to ride in the rain since it's raining. Oh yeah, good weather. How to ride in the rain. Perfect video.
At least you got suited up on the side. So.
Yeah, that'll be good. Thanks. See you guys later. Everything's all good. Let me make sure the settings are still the same. Dynamic, auto, dynamic pro. Maybe I should change the riding mode to rain since I'm in the rain. Nah. I'll rely on myself, not the technology. Right? Full power. Alright. Here we go. How to ride in the rain. So, first, wear appropriate gear. So, what I'm wearing right now is not waterproof. It's water resistant, my BMW gear. And if you go to my website, you'll look at all the gear that I have, including the jacket and the pants and the boots and blah blah, everything I have. But anyway, so the first thing, as you could tell as I'm riding, you need to be smooth. And that sounds pretty obvious, and a lot of people say that, but not many people know what the hell that means or could explain it. So being smooth means slowly on and off the throttle, slowly on and off the brake, and slowly adding the lean angle because you have less traction. So anytime you're in an environment, new tires, rain, riding through gravel or whatever else, the lower the traction, the smoother, aka slower, you have to be on the controls. And that's just universal. If I'm on a dirt bike riding through mud, I have to be way more cautious about what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and how fast I'm doing it, versus if I'm on the same dirt trail but it's nice and sunny and dry dirt, I could be a little bit more quick on the controls, right? But in absolute mud, anything you do is just going to highlight any mistakes. So if you're too aggressive in the mud, zip, you're probably going to spin out. So lower the traction, smoother you have to be. That's number one for sure. You got to be smooth. Number two, a lot of people say, well, you need to reduce the lean angle when you're riding in the rain. What I mean is that's a natural side effect of something else. So you don't have to worry about reducing the lean angle as like a direct thing to think about. All you have to do is reduce your speed. Because if I go through a corner at 40 miles per hour, I have to lean a certain amount to make the corner, like no matter what. So if I go through the corner at 40 and I require this much lean to make it, if I go through the same corner at 30, the bike will naturally be leaned less because I'm simply going slower. So you don't have to worry about reducing the lean angle, like purposely trying to do that. You just have to go a little bit slower. And that should also be obvious, right? Go a little bit slower, be a little bit smoother, a little bit more gentler on the controls, on the input. Don't do anything fast and abrupt with the brakes, with the throttle, with your lean angle. Next, as I'm riding right now, I'm about to jump on the highway. So first thing, what I'm doing right now, look at, I turn my head to the side, I turn my head to the side. The wind pushes the water kind of off my face, so I could just see. Because moving my hand back and forth, that ain't gonna do anything, right? So a lot of people think, oh, if it's raining, I gotta go 10 miles per hour. No, you don't, dude. Just go a little bit slower. You don't have to do anything stupid. A lot of people, when they say these people don't know how to ride in the rain, because they just start going 40 miles per hour like they're riding on ice. You have traction, it's just a little bit less. You don't have to do anything too drastic, right? So the next thing to do, so for example, I don't want to ride in the center because no car tires are there, so I want to ride in the tracks of the vehicle in front of me, if there is a vehicle in front of me, which I also don't recommend because all their mist is going to come off and like add to my blurriness of my vision and all the extra water. I'm already getting rained on enough. I don't need all their car stuff to do anything else as well. So I'm riding the tracks of the vehicle in front of me, and this is normally where I'm riding no matter what. I'm always in the fast lane, and I'm always in the right side of the fast lane, so I give people an opportunity to see me, and if there's a lot of traffic, it gives me the best opportunity to see in between the cars, right? This one should go without saying, but what to do before it even starts to rain. If you get caught in the rain, or if you're riding the rain on purpose like me, make sure your tires actually have tread. The purpose of tread of the tires is to displace the water so you're not hydroplaning and slipping and sliding everywhere. So if your tires are down to the wear bar, it's time to get new tires. So make sure you actually have tread in the tires. If not, replace them. And make sure your tire pressure is what it's supposed to be. A good place to start is what it says in the owner's manual. I understand you want to change it based on your personal preference, lower, higher, whatever the hell you want to do. But if you just don't really want to think about it too much, and you can ride perfectly fine on any bike doing exactly what it says in the owner's manual, you can do that no problem. My tires are 3642 99.9% of the time I'm riding around anywhere, no matter what tires I put on here, and I'm perfectly fine. Twisty road riding, fast, slow, low speed, it doesn't make a damn difference. The only time I lower my pressure is if I'm doing a lot of lean angle stuff, like if I'm practicing knee down, then I lower my pressure a little bit to have a little bit more traction, or if I'm on the track. And I have taken this GS on the track, then I do lower my pressure because I'm on the track and I'm riding the most aggressive. But on the street riding, you don't need to do anything. Like as you can see, I'm in the fast lane and most traffic is going like 70. So if this was dry and sunny, what would I be doing? I'd probably be going like 80 everywhere, which is what pretty much everybody does in San Diego on the highway. They ride 80 everywhere, and I would be doing the same thing. But because it's raining and you have less traction, just drop your speed a little bit. That doesn't mean I'm going to drop it to 40. That's ridiculous, right? Just drop it a little bit. Whatever you normally ride, just drop it a little bit from there. And it's all based on your level of skill and comfortability, right? So me, I'm perfectly comfortable going 70 in the rain. If you're only comfortable going 50, well, you might want to take back roads, because that's 15 miles per hour under the speed limit. Like on this road, I think it's 65, or on most highways in California, 65. So if you're going 15 under the speed limit, that's going to be a bad day, because people are going to be going faster and trying to go around you. And just, you might, if you're going to go that slow, don't go on the highway. Just take side streets. You can take side streets anywhere. No one says you have to go on the highway. It'll take longer to get home, but if you're not comfortable getting up to speed a little bit on the highway, well then don't ride on the highway. It's your choice, right? So there we go. Here's a big old sweeping turn. So what do I do? Since I'm going slower, my bike is naturally leaned like barely. If I take this corner at 80, which I do sometimes, if it feels dry, I'd be leaning a lot more. So you don't have to consciously thinking about, I want to have less lean angle. Just need to go a little bit slower. That's all. That's all you need to worry about. So those are pretty much the tips. So just to summarize, be smoother on the controls, on and off the throttle, on and off the brakes with your lean angle, be smoother. Drop your speed a little bit. Ride in the tracks of the vehicle in front of you, don't ride in the center. Make sure you have the correct gear on, water resistant, waterproof gear. So you're not just gonna get soaking wet, right? You can turn your head side to side while keeping your eyes forward to try to let the wind blow off the water from your windscreen. You could do that. You could have anti-fog stuff on your windscreen, whatever hell, just to keep your visor from fogging up. You could crack open the visor a little bit if that doesn't work. Make sure your tire pressure is good and you actually have tread. If not, fix your tire pressure, get better tires. And that's pretty much it. Everything else to street riding is the same, no matter if it's raining or not. Don't ride in people's blind spots. Don't hide in traffic. Cover your brakes. Expect dumb people to do dumb things. Like everything else is the same. The only thing I'm doing differently, really, is I'm just dropping the speed a little bit. If it was dry, I'm not automatically going to go and super fast on the controls, because that's just stupid. I don't ride like that anyway. That's just re-emphasizing bad technique. And technique is the most important thing. Who cares if I have ABS, traction control, all that crap could be turned off. I left the setting in Dynamic Pro, which lowers the sensitivity of traction control and ABS to ride more aggressively. It has rain mode, but I don't even bother with it because I don't care. I'm my own technology. I am the technique that is riding the bike. I don't rely on all that stuff. And people get themselves in trouble like, oh, I just put it in rain mode and I ride the same way, like really aggressive. Like, you're an idiot. You're just telling yourself how to ride bad, and you're hoping the bike's technology will make up for your lack of skill. And that's a problem. It is always technique over technology, which is why I purposely didn't put the bike in rain mode. You can if you're a new rider and you're not comfortable and you want to lower the sensitivity and to the throttle. Oh, great, put it in rain mode. But me, I just don't care. Most of the time it's in Dynamic Pro because I want all the power to the bike. It's just I need to slowly go on, slowly go off, and just manage it myself. Who cares? Traction control light never came on. The ABS is never engaged. It never is on the street. My ABS and traction control doesn't come on the street. I'm simply just not riding that aggressive, so it's irrelevant to me. All the technology is just a safety blanket in case all else goes wrong. Like you go off the road onto wet grass, it's going to be a good idea to have some ABS, and you know, now you got to be really smooth. Talk about slick stuff. Ride in the wet grass with street tires, that's going to be really slick. So that would mean what? I would go way slower to keep the bike damn near upright, way slower on the throttle. So if I decide to jump the curb or go up the drive and ride in the wet grass right now, if I do on the throttle a little bit too hard, well, there's no traction, there's hardly any. So the rear tire would spin up and I would just do a donut and just crash right there in the guy's yard. So you just have to be, again, pretty good traction right now because it's wet on the cement, but if I go into wet grass, less traction, what do I have to do? What was point number one? I have to be smoother. Lower the traction, smoother you have to be, which means whenever I say smooth, automatically you know that means you have to be slower with your inputs on the controls. That's what being smooth means. Most people don't say that because most people don't know. They just say be smooth like it's a bumper sticker quote with no context or meaning or explanation about what the hell that is. So it's almost like irrelevant information. Be smooth. Okay, bro, be smooth. And they're like, well, what the hell does that mean? How do you be smooth? I literally mean slow your hands down on the inputs you are doing with the throttle, with the brake, while you're shifting. Don't let go of the clutch, pop the clutch. Like, do everything slower. That is what being smooth means. If you watch a new rider take off at a stop sign and they go shift, watch the suspension of the bike. That bike is bouncing up and down everywhere because they're just jumpy and very abrupt on all the controls. Watch an experienced rider shift gears, and you won't even see the suspension move because they're being slower on the controls while they're shifting, and it's like the bike doesn't even have any suspension because they're riding smoother, they're riding slower, they're moving their hands slower. That's what it means, right? Alright everybody, so my GPS is acting up. I need to take this thing off and download the new thing and tell Garmin or whatever, but either way, getting ready to head back over the hill over here and head back to Pacific Beach, which is this whole area, and head back home. But hopefully this video helps if you're ever caught in the rain or about to ride in the rain on purpose, and you know you are like I am. Hopefully these tips will help you out. And I know, I'm sure the GoPro right now is like soaking wet, and maybe the camera angle, what you guys see, is a little bit blurred because of the water. Obviously, because I'm riding in the rain. So I wanted to commentate actually in the rain about rain riding tips when I'm actually in the rain, because it would be kind of silly for me to talk about rain riding tips when I'm riding on a perfectly sunny day, wouldn't it? So anyway, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the links in the description, my app, my books, gear, my Instagram where you can message me directly, all the gear that I'm wearing, courses to take, discounts, affiliate links to Revzilla and Chin Mounts and Lee Parks Design, and everything else. Look in the description, has everything. All right, talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go back home.